What stood out to me most about this week's reading and prompt was how much the passage alone made me question my ways of thinking. It made me really think about morality and try to understand what I believe morality to be and why. When I entered this class, I had little knowledge about philosophy, and as I went into each different type of meta ethical definitions, I found myself asking questions as if I was my curious 3-year-old toddler. Just like Professor Cat said when saying, that's what makes it philosophy. It's not about memorizing answers, it's about asking sharper questions. I found myself sitting there thinking back on different scenarios and asking myself, why do I believe this is wrong? What emotions or values are shaping my reaction to it? Who or what taught me to see it this way? And where did those beliefs originally come from for the people who passed them down to me? I specifically loved how in the middle I was on which philosopher I mostly agreed with, Aristotle or modern day philosophers, because on one hand I felt like morality starts from someone's personal opinion and experience, but on the other hand I realized that a lot of these rules about morality came about because of us evolving as human beings in a society. And then I felt really stuck when they asked about subjectivism, and I guess that's really the beauty of starting this class. It's that willingness and openness to look at all aspects and opinions and think about where they stem from, because I genuinely believe sometimes in life things aren't always black and white. So, for example, one day I get a phone call from my son while at work, and he tells me that the same guy that threatened to unalive our dog was the same guy who yelled at him to get his dog under control when he was letting the dog out because our dog had went to the end of the driveway and barked towards him as the man was walking down the road. Now, this man works across the street, so I decided to call and have a chat. And upon calling, nobody answered. So I leave a lovely voicemail about how our dog was on our property and how if he's afraid of our dog or has an issue, that he can come across the street and talk to me like the grown man he is and not to speak to my children again. I made sure to input how disgusted I was at him threatening to hurt my 14-year-old German Shepherd dog, and then followed it by, have the day you deserve. Now, upon getting home and looking at my cameras, I realized my preteen was mistaking who the person was. And I felt really conflicted on if I should even call back and apologize at all because of the comment that he made to my dog a year prior. Now, some may say leaving a harassing voicemail is morally wrong based on fixed rules. Maybe an animal lover or parent would say what I did was justified and there's no need to call back and apologize. He threatened your dog, he spoke ill to your child, and the intention behind it matters more than the actual phone call. But then when we look at the aspect of the misunderstanding, do our opinions change as more information is revealed? If we were to act as though morality was grounded in opinion and culture, I would say that they are just preferences that we happen to share. As I have previously stated, I believe that morality does come from us evolving as humans and as a society. We are forever changing as time evolves. And at one point in time, people collectively agreed on slavery while others opposed it. And that's not because one side had an absolute truth. But with that being said, that does not mean that I feel moral disagreements are pointless, such as slavery, and should not be discussed. If individuals throughout history didn't challenge what society had accepted and saw as right, we would still be living the same way we did in the 1600s.